I think over the last 2 years, you get really used to your phone ringing and, something else or another challenge popping up. So as soon as, we heard that Mags had gone down, we knew that potentially throughout the week that there'd be a couple more phone calls. Once the phone went off at about, I think it was late in the evening, and I spoke to Richo, I kind of knew that we were heading down that direction. She didn't sound too great. Nothing really changes. I think for us, we've worked together for so long. I've been part of the Collingwood program for a period of time now. So realistically, we all just continue doing our jobs. It just means that Richo's not actually present in the environment, and we've still got a huge amount of contact with her, and everything runs the same. Yeah, I was like, thanks Richo. We got round 1, round 14, ripper. And clearly there was a target of what we needed to achieve in round 14, and it was a very slim margin of, either win and we're in, or the margin at that time we thought was probably 1 goal. I was like, yeah, nothing like a challenge.
Clearly we want to win this, but remember the outcome, all right?
At the end of the day, the girls got there, and we ended up with not a win, but definitely probably one of the best losses that we've ever had at the club. It is a challenge when you lose your transverse line with Brazzy and Jodes, and the leadership is probably more the important thing. So for us, it was that voice on court and the connection between Jiva and that transverse line with Brazzy out there. So we were probably, shattered in the sense that we had to change that dynamic. But I think in that moment, you just kind of move forward and, okay, what's next? What do we do next? Renee was the last one that we obviously put in as a replacement player. We had Casey and Zoe come in first. Casey and Zoe have been exceptional in our environment. As training partners, you couldn't ask for 2 players that were across our defensive game plan as much as those 2. Casey brings that mature head and is a great communicator on court. So she will set up that initial centre pass defence, and she'll make sure that everyone's kind of connected and brought into that defensive lineup. So, and then you've got Zoe, who's that match-winning defender and brings that different dynamic. So having those 2, we were really quite comfortable having those 2 there. Then when we had our 3rd player go down, we kind of thought, okay, well, how can we actually improve what we've already got? And it was probably more having someone that was a bit more experienced and that voice that could connect. We knew that Renee had actually played VNL through the week, went back and had a look at some of that footage and saw that she brought that mature style of play and was a real leader on the court in that game. So we thought, okay, well, since we're losing Braz, let's try and see if we can get Renee across the line. And yeah, I think it was a pretty simple phone conversation of, are you interested? And let me get back to you. And then, within the hour, Renee was playing for Collingwood as a temporary replacement player.
Oh, brilliant feed.
The biggest threat for Giants is their goalers, and in that back end of a quarter of 5 minutes when you got the 2-point shot. So making sure that we've got some tactical skills there to be able to shut that down. It's probably more what we're going to expect with the whole finals game. So it'll be more physical, and that's probably one thing that previously we haven't been prepared for, is that physicality once the whistle goes. So everything else is the same, still delivering on our game plan, making sure that we're prepping for the Giants, but probably just making sure that we're ready for that physicality that's going to come out as soon as the whistle goes.